The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Mary said, "My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God my Savior, for he has looked upon his lowly servant. From this day all generations will call me blessed. The Almighty has done great things for me, and holy is his name. He has mercy on those who fear him in every generation. He has shown the strength of his arm and has scattered the proud in their conceit. He has cast down the mighty from their thrones and has lifted up the lowly. He has filled the hungry with good things, and the rich he has sent away empty. He has come to the help of his servant Israel, for he has remembered his promise of mercy, the promise he made to our fathers, to Abraham and his children forever." Mary remained with Elizabeth about 3 months and then returned to her home. The Gospel of the Lord. So we have the story of Hannah and Samuel in the Old Testament. And Hannah is a type of Mary. Hannah is a prefigurement, if you will, of Mary, just as her son Samuel is, in a sense, a prefigurement of Christ. Over and over and over again, and you've heard me say, many of you have heard me say this over and over and over again, the Old Testament tells a story of anticipation. It is a story of anticipation, and then the New Testament and the Gospel especially is a story of fulfillment. What does Hannah's name mean? Anybody know what the Hebrew root for Hannah means? It means grace or favor, okay? And so Hannah is graced or favored by God. Her very name means favored by God or favored with a child. And so you see how Hannah is a prefigurement, if you will, of Mary. And Mary comes, and just as Hannah has this kind of miraculous child, but not as big a miracle as Mary is going to have, see, because the New Testament fulfillment is always greater than the Old Testament type. Just like the manna in the desert is surpassed by the manna of the New Covenant in the Holy Eucharist. So we have, again, a beautiful example. And so Hannah's psalm, that was the responsorial psalm today. This was what Hannah sung back in the Old Testament. "My heart exalts in the Lord, my horn is exalted in my God. I have swallowed up my enemies, I rejoice in my victory." And hopefully you can hear a little echo in "My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God my Savior, for he has looked with favor on his lowly servant." You see that? You see the parallels there? And again, one of the beauties of the sacred scriptures that I hope in the church has deliberately set up the lectionary, the readings that we choose, to highlight this reality, that the prophecy of the Old Testament and the fulfillment of the New Testament, so beautifully highlighted today, tells us of this reliability of God's message and God's prophecy. You know, these books of the Old Testament were written so many years, hundreds, in some cases maybe even 1,000 years at least, when the story was being told, or longer, before Christ came. So finally, Mary comes, if you will, highly favored, whose name Mary doesn't mean grace like Hannah does, but nonetheless we have this reception. And today we continue to anticipate the coming, the fulfillment of the prophecies of the coming of the Messiah, right? And in our own day, what are we anticipating? What's the fulfillment that we're anticipating? The consummation of all time, the coming of Christ again in glory. And so the message of the gospel, a fulfillment of the Old Testament, or a fulfillment of the Old Covenant, the New Covenant, and here we are in covenant today, and Christ has come. And guess what Christ is going to do today on the very altar that we're here surrounding? Christ is going to come again today. And then at the end of history, at the end of our lives, he's going to come in glory. So we are made full of courage and confidence in faith by the fulfillment of the Old Testament in the New, and we anticipate the final fulfillment in the end.